Hey, I'm Kuru Paul, and welcome to Lesson 22 in our series, Spanish for Retirees Living in Mexico. Today I'm going to be teaching you some simple plug-and-play phrases so you can ask someone how far something is away, and also how to ask where the closest something is. For example, where's the closest pharmacy or the closest hospital? Now, every beginning Spanish course I've ever seen has a chapter on how to ask for directions. Asking where something is isn't the problem. It's going to be understanding the response of the other person. Now, verbal comprehension is definitely one of the most difficult parts about learning a foreign language. Fortunately, in the real world, when you ask someone who speaks another language where something is, that's when they fall back on a lot of body movements. They point in a certain direction and then will motion to the left or the right, and you get a general idea where something is. I've traveled to several countries where I didn't speak the language, and this has worked pretty well for me. But there's one phrase I like to learn in the native language of the country, and that is, how far is it? Because when people point down the road, I want to know, am I going 1 mile or 20 miles? So here it is in Spanish. How far away is it? ¿Qué tan lejos está? You see, we're still using the verb estar because we're talking about location. In this particular sentence, we didn't specify exactly what we're talking about, and that's because we should know it from context. For example, if I ask, where is the pharmacy, and they tell me it's down the road, or point, and I'm going to ask, ¿Qué tan lejos está? How far away is it? We know we're talking about the pharmacy. If I want to specify the object or place in that sentence, it's easy to do. I'm just going to plug it in after está. ¿Qué tan lejos está la farmacia? How far away is the pharmacy? Out of all the verbs in the course, you've definitely conjugated the verb estar more than any of them, so you shouldn't have any trouble with that. In this case, we use the singular, está, because la farmacia is singular. Let's look at one with a plural noun. ¿Qué tan lejos están las montañas? How far away are the mountains? You see, we used están because las montañas is plural. Here's the plug-and-play phrase we're going to use when we answer that question. Está a. See, all we're doing is plugging in that a, and then we can put the time, like it's 10 minutes away, or distance, it's 20 kilometers away. Here's an example. La farmacia está a 10 minutos. The pharmacy is 10 minutes away. Here's one with distance. La farmacia está a 2 kilómetros. The pharmacy is 2 kilometers away. If you want to ask how far an object is from another object, like how far is the beach from the hotel, that's easy to do. We're going to take our plug-and-play phrase and tweak it just a little bit. See, we're going to put the word de in there. You've seen that a lot in this course. Here's an example. ¿Qué tan lejos está la playa del hotel? How far is the beach from the hotel? Now remember, you learned if you see a de plus an el, meaning the, not he, it becomes del. If we want to use the plug-and-play phrase for the response, we just have to tweak that and add the word de. La playa está a 5 minutos del hotel. The beach is 5 minutes from the hotel. Let's move on to another very useful plug-and-play phrase. We're going to learn how to ask somebody, where is the closest something? For example, where is the closest hospital? But before we do, I want to teach you a Spanish word that we're going to be using in that plug-and-play phrase, cercano, which means nearby or close. Now this is an adjective, which means it's going to have to agree in number and gender with the noun that it's describing. So here's the plug-and-play phrase, ¿Dónde está the object más cercano? Now the word cercano is going to have to agree in number and gender with the object. Here are two sentences to show you what I mean. One has a feminine noun and one has a masculine noun. ¿Dónde está la farmacia más cercana? Where's the closest pharmacy? ¿Dónde está el paradero más cercano? Where is the closest bus stop? Here's an example where the noun is feminine and plural. ¿Dónde están las montañas más cercanas? Where are the closest mountains? See, this isn't that hard, is it? Now, I've said this many times, but these lessons all build on previous lessons. The purpose is I want you to be able to have a complete conversation. So let's incorporate what we've just covered in with some things that we covered in earlier lessons. Take a look at the English sentences on the board. By this point in the course, if you weren't skipping around and you've been paying attention, you should be able to translate these 3 sentences. Now I put some numbers after each one. Those correspond to the lesson in which I covered that particular topic. Here are the answers. Estoy enfermo. I'm sick. Now if you're a female, you would say estoy enferma. Quiero ir a la farmacia. I want to go to the pharmacy. ¿Sabes dónde está la farmacia más cercana? Do you know where the nearest pharmacy is? Well, that's it for today's lesson. I encourage you to go to our website at qru.us and to do the exercises associated with this video. Until next time, hasta luego.